Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So for this week's episode, I want to talk about my past lives because I remember them. I remember a couple of them in great detail. And so I'm going to just kind of jump right in and talk about it. And we'll see where the conversation goes. So one of my past lives, I remember I was an Asian man. And I was at war, and I think it was like the 13 or 1500s. I'm not entirely sure, but I know it was a really long time ago. And I think I was on Earth. And I was just like a foot soldier. And I remember being in a battlefield, and I was stabbed right here in my chest with a long spear. And I remember falling to the ground and then like lying there. And then I was like in the process of dying. I don't know if it's like fear that came over me or if I thought like if I just lay there, I'll get like skipped over. I don't remember. I think I was pretty much like, yeah, I'm going to die. So then I remember a scene where like I'm being dragged into a huge pile of other soldiers who were presumed dead. And I ended up being suffocated, essentially. That's how I ended up passing, was suffocation, because the weight of these bodies just kept piling on top of me, and I was already in so much pain and over the whole thing. So I just kind of like laid there and died. Good times, good times. And that is just one memory that I have. What I find interesting about it is that today I have severe claustrophobia. And I also really love Asian cuisine. Really like warm, cozy meals, like something like a soup or something. And when I eat it, I feel like I should be crouching down. I have no idea. Whatever mannerisms I had back then, sometimes I think my body recalls certain things. So like I just remember certain comfort, certain warmth, certain feelings of that period of time in my life. What am I supposed to do with knowing this information? Outside of enjoying sticky rice, I have no idea, right? Like it's not a good time being on an elevator with me. I'm not sure. I think that life was about dedication, but it was forced dedication because I was forced to be a soldier. It was against my will. So it was kind of just like duty and surrender. And not because I wanted to, but because I had to. Mulan, am I right? So I'm not sure why I even remembered that life. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not like I remember multiple days of that life. It's like I have scenes that I have a knowing of, and that's showbiz, baby. I don't know. But I also remember my most recent past life in great detail. Like it was yesterday for me. I recall so many nuances, so many things. I went to a boarding school. I remember the uniforms we had to wear. I remember walking into the school and seeing hooks on the wall. I remember it being an all-girls school. I remember family members. I remember certain problems that I had with family members. I still have like micro beef with these people because it's like in my DNA. And these people don't even exist in my lives anymore. Like in my life anymore. Like it's wild. I remember certain traumas. I have certain shame that is within me. I remember my name. I remember my parents. I fully remember the people who were most recent to my like passing. I remember those people very sharply. I remember locations, being inside of certain hotels, being in certain cities, traveling a little bit. What am I supposed to do with this information? Great question. I think that a lot of this information for this most recent past life is to promote healing for this life. I was alive in the 1920s, early 30s when I passed. And I even remember parts of that day, of certain things that I did, it's weird. It all sounds made up. It sounds like I should be institutionalized when I say these things out loud. And not everybody's going to get this. And I understand it. And I don't always understand why I have these things. But this is just a part of who I am. And it's very real to me. And I wish that more people who remembered spoke up, because I'm sure I can't be the only person who remembers their past lives in like this extent, like to this extent of detail. I have to believe that there are other people out there who have these memories. I just wish I could have somebody that I could bond with over it, because sometimes you feel alone when you can recall things. And like I tried to talk to my one coworker about it, and she looks at me like I'm nuts. And I'm like, I get it. Like, it sounds nuts. It sounds weird, but like, this is my life. Like, this is truly something that I believe. This is truly something that I feel is within me. And the fact that I can back it up because I have records of my existence previously, it just, to me, validates what I say, what I feel. But I can't shout it from a rooftop. I can't even really tell the public of social media, because again, this all sounds bonkers, and I don't feel like being challenged or fought against something that I inherently know and believe. So I think I, A, need a friend, and B, a friend who has had these experiences, and B, just also need to just focus on like how I can heal from that past trauma in this current life. So my most recent past life was cut short due to my own shenanigans, and there wasn't help the way that there is help today. So we didn't have therapy. We didn't have, we did, but it wasn't like the way we have it. Cognitive therapy today is so much more healing and so much more relevant to the healing process. It's just a different place. And so I chose to come back because I knew that certain dynamics in this life would help support my healing and my expansion and my growth. I just took on a little too much my last life, and my little human body just couldn't handle it. And that's okay. But if you're someone who remembers your past life, or has glimpses or experienced a knowing, if you have certain memories and you're not sure how to place them, whether it's like, when I go to sleep, I see this same woman and she's standing in the woods and we're raising a child together. I don't know, maybe that was like your past life wife. Maybe you were killed by a bear. Who knows? Just kind of like reflect upon things that feel... I don't know where I was going to go with that sentence. I'm not even sure. I don't even care. I just think it's cool to kind of think about the detail. I wish that like sometimes I didn't know as much detail, just because I do confuse family dynamics. Sometimes I'm like pissed at my mom from my last life, and I take it out on my current mother, which is fun. And the interesting thing is that they are eerily similar. They do have personality traits that are worthy of being pissed at. So I know I'm not alone out there, although sometimes I do feel lonely. But if you remember your past life, shoot me a comment. Let's chat about it. It would be great to have someone that has an experience similar-ish to me in terms of the remembrance. Let's heal together, because I think that's really what life is all about. It's to experience the grapplings of being a human being, to ride those waves, to deal with the negative shit that we have to deal with, to just experience fully all facets of being human. And then getting back to God, who is the root of all, who is you, me, everything we see around us, right? So if you remember your past life, or even parts of it, or think you might remember it, let me know, and let's trauma bond together. I hope you guys have a happy and healthy new year, and until next week.